On this board, we're talking about a business blueprint for the young adults who are in my network. Now, basically, this is a step-by-step guide for young people to effectively operate a small business. Now, quick disclaimer, this information is only general information for the young adults who are in my network. I'm talking about the party motivators, the cheerleaders, the dance fitness instructors, the tutors, the speakers, right? The super service-based small businesses, right, that are in my network. Let's jump right in. All right, now, number one, the first thing that we need to talk about is which business structure should you choose? Should you choose to become a sole proprietor or a single member LLC? Well, first, let's define what those terms are, okay? Number one, a sole proprietorship is an unincorporated business with one owner, and it is the simplest and least expensive type of business to form. An individual who operates a business on their own is by default a sole proprietor. The main characteristic of a sole proprietorship is that there is no legal separation between the business and the business owner. So the owner is personally responsible for the business debts. All right. Now let's contrast that with a single member LLC. A single member LLC is a limited liability company with a single owner. The main characteristic of a single member LLC is that there is a legal separation between the business and the business owner. So the owner is not personally responsible for the business debts. So let's ask the question again. Which one should you choose? Should you choose to be a sole proprietor or a single member LLC? Well, the answer is it depends. It depends. Here's some things to consider. All right, things to consider. Number one, do you have personal assets you need to protect? So you see, in many of the situations regarding the young adults who want to, register their business, right? In many of their situations, they are young people who do not have a lot of personal assets. And so in many of their situations, it's fine just to register as a sole proprietor and not register as a single member LLC, at least not now, right? But that's something to think about, right? Do you have personal assets that you need to protect? Number two, another thing to think about is this. Does the nature of your business have a high risk of lawsuits? That's huge, right? Because you got to think about it. Now, if you're opening up a restaurant, right, that's a completely different situation, right? I mean, if you're opening up a restaurant, that there is a situation where you need to have, legal protection, right? But regarding the young people who are in my network, we're talking about people who are, like dance instructors, tutors, party motivators, speakers, right? In many of those industries, right, there's a very, very low risk of lawsuits, right? So that's something to think about, right? So I think that, regarding the young people that are in my network, they are fine with just becoming a sole proprietor for right now, to start off as a sole proprietor, and then later, advance to becoming a single member LLC. Now, here's the thing. Another thing to think about is this. Does your business generate profit of more than $60,000, right? Because in situations where you're generating a lot of profit, there are some tax benefits of becoming a LLC with S Corp Election, right? But here's the thing. If you're not generating significant income, then you won't really benefit. You won't benefit from the tax benefits of becoming a LLC with S Corp Election. All right, let's dive into this. All right, for example, let me give you an example. All right, the example is, let's say that you have a business and your business has $60,000 of profit. All right, $60,000 of profit. All right, now if you're a sole proprietor, the full 60,000 is subjected to self-employment tax, right? Which is 15.3%, right? In addition to the regular tax of, like, you know, the federal income tax and the state income tax, right? All right, but right now we're only looking at self-employment tax because that is the difference. That's what makes the difference between sole proprietor and a LLC with S Corp Election, the way that they handle self-employment tax, right? All right, so if you're a sole proprietor, you're paying if you're a sole proprietor, the full 60,000, right, of profit in this example, the full 60,000 is subjected to self-employment tax. All right, and so in this case, it would be 15.3% of 60,000, and so that's $9,180 of self-employment tax that you'd have to pay if you're a sole proprietor, right? And you make like $60,000 of profit. Now, let's look at an LLC with S Corp Election, right? Now, you have the option of classifying a portion of the $60,000 of profit as your reasonable salary and the remaining portion as a distribution to shareholder, right? Only your reasonable salary is subjected to self-employment tax. The distribution to shareholder is not subjected to self-employment tax. So if you classify only, let's say, 1/3 of the profit as your reasonable salary, then, you know, only $20,000 is subjected to self-employment tax, right? So therefore it would be 20,000 times 15.3%. So that would be the amount of self-employment tax you'd have to pay would be only $3,060, right? In contrast to the $9,180 that you'd have to pay if you were classified as a sole proprietor, right? So you would be able to avoid $6,120 of self-employment tax, right? Under in this example, right? With this strategy. But here's the thing. Keep in mind that setting up and maintaining an LLC with S Corp Election, right, is complex and requires additional administrative costs. So you must weigh the additional benefits against the additional costs. All right. So I say all that to say is that if you're not generating profit of more than $60,000, then you probably are not going to really benefit from the tax benefits of being a LLC with S Corp Election, right? But you have to look into it for yourself. But I'm just saying that you have to weigh the costs. All right. Now let's go back to the people, the young people, regarding the young people who are in my network, right? Like the dancers, the cheerleaders, the tutors, the professional speakers, right? All right. So these young people, right, most likely they don't have a lot of personal assets to protect, and most likely they're in an industry that has a very low risk of lawsuits, and most likely they're not generating profits of more than $60,000, right? So in their situation, most likely, right, I would suggest that they register as a sole proprietor and not as an LLC. All right. Now, the steps regarding registering as a sole proprietor. All right. It's very easy, very easy. Number one, register through your state's website. Register as a sole proprietor through your state's website. Here in Maryland, the website is called the Maryland Business Express. All right. In Virginia, it's a different website, right? In DC, it's a different website, right? In each state, right, it's a different website, right? So number one is register through your state's website. Register as a sole proprietor through your state's website. Number two, register your trade name also through your state's website, right? The cost in Maryland, the cost is only like 25 bucks. It's like 25 bucks, you know, to as a filing, you know, to file, you know, your trade name, right? And then it's good for like 5 years, right? And you can renew it every 5 years. And the renewal fee is 25 bucks, right, to renew. So basically $25 to start, and then $25 every 5 years, right? So very, very inexpensive. Now, a side note, if you're registering as an LLC, wow, that's way more expensive, right? It's like in Maryland, something like around 100 bucks. And then also in Maryland, you have to, every year to maintain the LLC, you have to pay like $300, right? As an annual fee, right? So that's just another reason to say, look, for, you know, the young people that are in my network that are like really, really small time, right? Just register as a sole proprietor, right? That's what I would recommend. So number one, register your sole proprietorship with your state's website, right? Number two, register your trade name also through your state's website. Number three, register to get your EIN number through the IRS website. It's free, all right? Register to get your EIN number, your employer identification number, right? Your EIN number, all right? Now, after that, number four, open up a business checking account using your business name and your business EIN number, all right? Number five, then set up and maintain a simple bookkeeping system. Number six, set up and maintain a simple invoicing system. And number seven, determine if and when you need to pay estimated quarterly taxes, all right? And in my ebook, I have an ebook that goes along with this video. In my ebook, I go into detail regarding how to determine if you need to pay quarterly taxes, and if so, how to pay quarterly taxes, all right? But this here is just the basic blueprint regarding how to set up and run your business as a sole proprietor, all right? Now, it's time for a short little dance fitness break, all right? Dance fitness break. So everyone stand up, and dance along with me for this short dance fitness break.